All right, guys, welcome to the Inside the Sale. We have Ryan Urbanski with us today. What's up, buddy?
Man, I'll tell you what. I appreciate you having me in. It just makes me realize how fast time goes by. It's been a long time since I've been here. Thank you for having me back, man.
You open your office when?
March.
So 3 months, 4 months almost.
Feels like yesterday.
Right? That was a good day. All right, so this is Inside the Sale. If you could, we're going to get into some. You hit Hall of Fame your rookie year. You're tracking this year too? Oh yeah, not even close.
Yeah, I'll definitely hit it. I mean, there's no doubt. It's just when. Like, do I want to get it done 2-3 months early? What number? I mean, it's obviously I'm not going to stop. It's like,
right.
If you're winning in a basketball game, you might as well keep dunking, keep slamming them in.
That's right. So, and you're recruiting, team's growing. In fact, you actually are growing, and very few people are, which is good because you guys are doing a lot of the right things. You're traveling around doing the BDMs. You were in Atlanta a couple of days ago, just getting information from other leaders, right? Good. So could you do me a favor and tell me a little bit about your background? And then we'll get into some of this inside of sales. So we're going to go through some of your training stuff because you were one of the fortunate ones. You came in the gate and you killed it right out the get-go. It didn't seem like you had any issues, any troubles, any struggles in the beginning. And then you learned that, it's not always going to be peaches and cream. But can you tell us a little bit about your background first?
Yeah, no doubt. Frank, as far as training, you guys have done so much. And I don't think you guys get a lot of credit for it. Like, there's a lot of companies and places where there is no system put in place.
Sure.
The system is here. But I was blessed to be in I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens.
I was blessed to be in a position with a company that the system was already put in place. All I had to do was just follow it.
Right.
So not coming from any sales, I was a police officer for 7 years, or like Frank likes to say, you were a cop. Right?
You're a cop. That's right. So you had no sales experience.
None. But you know what I did have, Frank, is I had a passion for helping people, serving. And
right.
That's why I think that I was able to make that transition very smoothly.
Right.
Because if you are in a position where you enjoy what you do and you're passionate about it, I don't care what you're in, you're going to do well. Right.
Well, and plus you're a cop. I mean, y'all told people what to do. Funny, when I was 18 years old, we used to go to this club. And it was like an after hours deal. So it opened when the bars closed.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. we had a good time. And one night it got raided because the club was obviously doing things that were illegal. So SWAT comes in and this place was packed and they roll in probably 40 deep. And we're on the floor dancing, whatever. And then all of a sudden lights pop on and we see geared up police officers, right? We're like, crap, what? So the guns drawn, get against the wall. So everybody but one fool gets against the wall. Because they were holding guns, but I didn't need to see a gun. Like, they were not playing around. I was like, I got it. I'm against the wall. And this kid started running his mouth and they popped him and he dropped and they threw him in handcuffs. And then nobody else thought about moving. Like, we were against the wall, but somebody might have been turning around. After that happened, everybody looked straight forward. Like, nose against the wall for, I don't know, it felt like hours. It was probably only 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But I think a lot of it has to do with how you tell people what to do and what your plan is. You take control of the situation. Because what happens if you're a police officer and you don't take control of the situation?
Either you die or you're going to cause people some serious injury or death. Like, you have to do it.
Sure. Now, was that easy for you when you went into the force?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It was training. Like, when you're thrown into a position, like, we trained for 6 months.
Right.
So getting yelled at, you know what I mean? Understanding that the people that are very stern is an authority figure that you have to follow. So, like, when the roles were reversed, when we got out, it was, hey, look, now we're taking over that role. Sometimes you got to be strict. Other times you've got to be passionate and kind of understanding. So it kind of, I didn't. It was something that was learned and taught.
Okay.
It wasn't something that I just had.
Sure. Okay. Well, and that's fair. So when you came here, you translated that pretty well, because we always talk about be assumptive, give people direction, act like you're in control, be in control, have confidence. But I mean, there's a lot of people that don't have that coming in or had it in something else. What would you think gave you the ability to translate that confidence from being a police officer or a cop to being an insurance agent?
Yeah, I think number one, I think the biggest thing that I'll tell you, Frank, is because I've made mistakes, like when you try to be somebody's friend, like
right,
friend inside the house, like friends can tell you no, and you're like, okay, no problem, like,
right,
we'll talk later, right?
I'll call you tomorrow. Yeah, no doubt.
I'll be back, right? But I got the light switch that was turned on, and I think I've seen so much death in my life, and I see how precious life is.
Right.
When if you really break down what we do, like today is here, but tomorrow's not promised. So like I'm with somebody right there, right now. My job is to get them covered. Now, even when somebody tells me no,
right,
I don't stop. Like I want to make sure that they have the full perspective of, you're telling me no, that's one thing. But now you're telling your family no, this is what they're going to have to go through.
Sure.
Like, do you understand what your no means? Because if it's budget or the fact that you don't trust me, like let's clear that up now, because this is not for me. This is definitely not for you.
Right.
This is for your family. So like, what do we need to do? So like, once I realized that if I didn't push, got more than one no, then I wasn't going to do my job. Like at the end of the day, if somebody's on a ladder and getting ready to jump off the bridge, like if I'm like, come on down, and he's like, no, screw you, and I turn around and I'm like, all right, dude, I'm out, end of shift, right? Like
deuces.
Yeah, like then that could be a serious situation, right?
Right.
Like, but I have to at least try, because if I don't try, then I'm not afforded that ability to go out there and serve. So we have to fight. So I think I learned that early on is, hey, look, we fight for these people, and I truly care about people. It's not about the money.
Sure.
So,
well, that's easier said than done for most people. Like that's not easy when you're broke.
Mm-hmm.
And or if and people's mindsets, and to me, broke is very different than a lot of folks' definitions. Like if you have a house or a roof over your head and a vehicle, you're far from broke. In fact, if you take that alone and compare it to the entire world, you're actually what they consider to be rich. So like, but that's mindset, and that's neither here nor there. You figured that out, and that to me is hard for a lot of people to do. And then you said something about challenging your clients because it's not for you. I love that. This isn't for me. This isn't for you. It's for your family.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you hear that somewhere? Or is it just like every now and again you say something, you're like, dang, did I just say that? That was pretty good.
I'll be honest with you, man. Out of all the training, I'm sure I probably heard it from somebody. I can't tell you exactly who it is.
Okay.
But definitely, you think about it, break it down.
Yeah.
This isn't for me, okay? Because I've got life insurance. If I die today, like the insurance company is going to pay based on the policy that I have. So it has no bearing on if a client gets a policy or not. Like I'm not collecting a check for $100,000, right?
Right.
And it's not for you because you're going to be dead, right? So if you're gone, like who's it going to benefit? Right?
Your family, for sure.
Yeah. So like I'm here because you care about your family, I'm assuming, Frank, right?
Yeah, I do.
So like if we already know what it looks like if we don't do something, so why are we procrastinating? Like you're not getting any healthier, right?
Not getting any younger either.
Yeah, you're not getting any younger, you're not getting any healthier. Like let's get it taken care of now. So I think once I realized that, and I went through the, hey, I'll call you back, and then it's like I'm waiting by my phone and it never rings. And I'm like, okay, well, was this a fluke? Oh no, these people. And I called you and Mike, and they're like, you're like, look, I have never had somebody call me back. It's not going to happen. So if I'm not going to get that phone call back, what if they're not afforded another opportunity to get
Sure.
protected by an agent?
Well, and they're not going to talk to you anyway again. So like
they don't trust you. They have no faith in you.
Right.
You're not fighting for them. You're not giving it to them straight. So, how do they have faith that, hey, when something happens, you're going to be there for their family?
So you just literally sold a policy before we came in here.
I did. Yep.
Telesales, virtually. And
Absolutely.
You do both, right?
I do.
You do both. Can you go through what just happened? Like the lady, you got through everything. She didn't want to give you a checking account.
Yeah.
Normal objection, right?
Great conversation over the telephone in a different state. I mean, so it's not like I can say, okay, I'll be right over. Right. So she felt comfortable with me, but until it came to banking information. Gave me their social. I explained why I needed social, the whole 9 yards, but I got an objection. I don't feel comfortable doing this. Okay. You have FaceTime. Like, I asked her a question.
Right.
And she was like, yeah. I was like, do you prefer Zoom instead? She's like, no, FaceTime is fine. So I pull it up. She's chilling out on the farm. Everything she told me is right?
Right.
She's like, oh, look at this guy. He's a real person. He's sitting there. I flip the camera over. I show her my screen. Why? That builds trust, right? I've already established that relationship.
Yeah.
Here's the company, The carrier is up on the website, the application, okay? Now I went through, hey, look, you realize when somebody gets an insurance license, like this is not like you just applying for Burger King. Like they do background checks. Right? So we deal with people's personal information. So they got to make sure we're in good standing. I pull up the website, NIPR.
Right.
I pull it up right in front of her. We go through the whole license. She's writing stuff down. Right. So I'm like, okay, so what's your routing number? Okay, is the routing number right? Because it generates what bank it is. Perfect. Okay, and what's your account number? She gives it to me. And then she proceeds to tell me, we talked about me being a police officer. Because I'm like, look, you know, to kind of give you a background, I used to be a police officer for 7 years. So you don't think they just hire police officers off the street without doing checks. It's the same thing with insurance agents. And then I found something else to connect with her. Hey, my husband was a police officer for 30-some years, and this is what he did, right? So just that little switch, just adding another comfort zone, validating who I am.
Sure.
I got her covered, and now she's protected. So, like, I took that extra step, and I did my rebuttal. I could have been like, well, why don't you call me when you're ready?
Correct. Or you just, a lot of people just give up at that point.
Yeah.
And it's just a concern. I mean, most objections are just concerns. You addressed the concern to her liking, and she gave you the information, right?
That's it.
So can you go through because listen, if I'm being real with you, if you're a full-time agent here and you don't hit Hall of Fame, you're really just not working.
Correct.
I mean, you can't convince me otherwise, and I'm sure I can't convince you. But that being said, doesn't mean you have to do it your first year, because I think some people take a little longer to learn this. But once you've ran, let's just say 500 appointments, which is probably a half a year, 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So then by year 2 in this industry, full-time, you should have it. Okay? Give me what your schedule looks like, lead flow, and anything else that can help folks do exactly what you did.
Scheduling is important. If you are serious about this business, if you're a new agent, first, stay humble and realize you're nothing special. That's the first thing. Okay? Don't say, well, if I'm better than this person, I don't have to run as much. Just understand that you're going to run to get the amount of appointments to naturally become better. Don't compare anybody to yourself. So run the numbers. 30 appointments minimally a week.
Okay.
Right? 30. And if you're not having the success week by week, day by day, then guess what? You know how to fix that, Frank? Buy more leads, run more appointments until your numbers work out. Because I've done it.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. I've done it where I'm like, man, I'm not where I need to be this week. Or do I just sit on my couch and do nothing and soak in, work that I haven't done, or do I actually do something and make a change? Like, I have to change me.
Right.
So scheduling, Frank, is like Monday.
Yep.
Dialing for Tuesday, Wednesday.
What time you start dialing?
7 a.m. I just had this conversation with another agent.
What time are you? What time? It's funny because I was in Arkansas for the first round of the BDMs, and I was going through this schedule stuff with them, and I was like, "So what time do y'all start dialing?" They were like, "Well, between 9:30 and 10." I was like, Ryan Urbanski starts dialing at 7:30, and he's usually done by 11 a.m. So you're giving up 2 to 3 of the best hours to dial because you don't want to get your butt out of bed.
I actually talked to another agent, brand new, hasn't had a lot of success, and I think a lot of it's, again, I wish I would have reached down to him and actually helped him sooner than later.
Sure.
So as a leader, I'm trying to understand, hey, look, help in any way I can. But I was like, look, dude, here's some leads. Like, you've listened to everything I've said so far, so let's rock and roll.
Right.
Be on the phone tomorrow at 7. Like, I want you on live dials at 7 a.m. Guess what time he was there? 6:59.
Nice.
He was there, right? He dialed. Now, he's running a part-time schedule, but he was able to book from 7:15, 7:30. By the time I prepped him and got him ready for today, he booked 3 appointments in an hour, and that's what he was booking all day for like 5 or 6 hours on the telephone in an hour. So
not complicated.
No. So now he's fired up. We're going to get back on the telephones at 6. So get your leads. Everybody asks me what leads to get. I'll tell you what, the leads, the internet leads, obviously with the WorkSpots discount code, you cannot go wrong.
Correct.
40, 50%. I think one time I've seen 70% off on leads. Do the math. Even if you have disconnected phone numbers and you get, say, 100 to 150 leads in a dial day, you can sit there and you can run through them to book the amount of appointments. Now, Frank, as far as that's concerned, what's really been a game changer is now I'm utilizing a system called Auto Dialer. So instead of sitting there hand dialing, okay, and taking all day to dial, I am now able to utilize Auto Dialer that literally calls multiple numbers at the same time, and rips through leads, like rips. And now I'm reaching more people. 15, I managed to book like 15 appointments in just a matter of like 3-4 hours. Like, I'm talking it's definitely fire. So,
and but you hated internet leads.
I did.
Why?
Honestly, self-belief. It was self-belief, and because I didn't believe in myself enough to book the appointments.
Okay.
And I was running a lot of direct mail. I was running all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Everything but internet leads.
Everything but internet leads.
Well, and I mean, listen, they're different. That's all. They all work. I mean, it works. It's just a different process to get there, and that's what people don't like. But the dialer system that you're using, it makes it easier, right?
It does, but you know what? You still got to do work.
Sure.
And what I tell people is it's not a way for you to sit back and be lazy. But what I will tell you is that when you dial, you may have to follow up, and you may have to, you still should dial and send out text messages and do other things. Like, there is no one size fits all.
No doubt.
Getting back to the internet leads, here's why I love them. You got final expense leads,
right?
You got mortgage leads.
Yep.
But people are requesting help with life insurance. So
That's
they're
right.
not confused when I'm coming over.
That's right. What's the closing ratio on those?
Oh my God. If I'm sitting in a house, I would probably say at least like 75 to 80%.
I would agree with that. Okay.
75 to 80%. Now, because it comes down to just like any appointment, can they afford it?
Right.
Is one person there? Is it a one leg? And I don't pitch those, but I would say the closing ratio is so much higher.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's just getting into the appointment. But here's what's crazy. So you either spend more time on the phone with those to get in the home and waste less time, or you spend less time on the phone with some of these leads and then spend more time wasting in and out of homes. Mm-hmm. So like it's 6 one, half dozen the other. It's nothing's any different.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
When you spend a lot of money on leads, you're like, then you find yourself trying to sell.
Yeah, that's right.
Help.
Sure.
You're like, man, this person he filled out 4 of these cards.
Right.
$80 a piece, $320. I am getting it. Like,
he better buy.
He's getting something. Like, why'd you fill these out?
Right.
And then they feel it. And then you're sitting there convincing instead of helping.
That's right.
And then what happens, even if you do sell the policy, guess what? It's going to charge back.
Chargebacks. Dude, it's funny. You said when it's not going well, you buy more leads and run more appointments. You know, there are companies out there that bash. They go, Family First Life's suggestion is when you're not having success, buy more leads and sell more. As opposed to what? Just quit? Or, wait a minute, you got a magical lead that's going to book itself and sell itself. All you have to do is sign your name.
Yeah, all you got to do is pick the check up from the mailbox. That's it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. By the way, if that was real, we would get paid a fraction of what we get paid. Yeah. So, all right. So leads, internet, schedule, dial Monday, run Tuesday, Wednesday, dial Thursday, run Friday, Saturday. And then if the week's crap, Sunday too?
I will.
Right? I know you will. Would you suggest that?
If somebody's goal is to come in here and hit Hall of Fame.
Yeah. 10 families a week.
Yeah. 10 families a week. Run on Sunday. Now, how do you dial? Everybody says, well, how do you do that if you're dialing Monday and Thursday? Well, by Thursday, you should probably know you're not where you need to be. So
correct.
Guess what? I would leave one of those days in the morning time open. Okay, that's my advice. On a Saturday, you probably can do it. People probably want to sleep in.
Yeah.
Maybe make your first one at 10, run your last one at 9 o'clock, get on the phones from 7 to 10 or whenever.
Yeah.
Okay, and utilize that time to finish booking up for Sunday.
Dude, I couldn't agree more.
Or in between appointments.
That's the other thing. Like, if you're having a bad week, it's probably consistent of some no-shows and no sales, which usually, for me, it was a no sale. I was in and out in probably 15 minutes max. So that means I had at least 30 minutes because, final expense, 45 minutes to an hour apart, mortgage, an hour to hour and 15 apart. So I had some time. Like, we can pretend that we're all so busy, but that's just so not true. I mean, seriously, it's not true. You have time. If you wanted to pick up the phone and dial, you have time to dial. You sit in a parking lot and probably play Candy Crush and look on Facebook.
Netflix,
have your leads with you.
Facebook, sitting there, taking a nap, reclining in the chair. We've all done it.
And no doubt.
But yeah, you're going to have to buckle up because it's going to be a ride, but you're going to work for it. But when you start seeing the impact you're having on those families, it'll really make a difference.
That's right. I appreciate it, dude. So we're going to wrap it up. One last pointer, one last experience that you've had that's changed something for you that can help folks.
So I love this question. We're talking about as far as being able to help families at a higher level.
Be whatever. It could be whatever. Because you've changed a bunch. Like, you've grown and you killed it when you came in.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have, dude, you had a lot of work to do. We all have a lot of work to do, by the way.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I can share is stay humble and don't have an ego, because that's where it catches up. When everybody keeps talking like, hey, you're something special, you're not something special, but sometimes you keep hearing it and then you think you're something greater than you are, and you're not. Okay, it's just remember the work ethic that you had to put forward to get to where you're at.
Sure. So
when you let that foot off the brake, it's not because you suck. It's not because you're bad. It's because you're not working. So remember what took you to where you're at now. Apply that pressure. Reach out. Keep your mind right. And this business goes up from here.
I can't agree more. So, Ryan Urbanski, thank you so much. Guys, Family First Life's training is by far the best. Thank you all for what you do. What you offer us. It's changed my life. It's changed your life. We're changing many lives every week. So, guys, I appreciate y'all hopping on. Until next time, appreciate it. Make it a big week. Thanks, Ryan.
Absolutely. Thanks, Frank.
All right, bye.